Xiomy here. So today I wanted to do a spoiler-free review or book talk on Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan. Now, I really did adore reading this book. It had a different perspective on telling the book. It did use a lot of imagery, was something that I really did love. You are bombarded throughout the entire book with imagery. You'll say it's being told through smell and touch and whatnot, and I thought that was a very good way of expressing a book. You do have 2 points of view set out through this entire book, and you have Luna's point of view and you have Fowler's point of view. Now basically this is a story about a kingdom that suddenly all of a sudden goes into a complete blackout. I mean, the sun is blocked out, and they've been blocked out I think for like 17 years or something like that. And on the eve of that blackout, the king and queen are assassinated. So the princess is basically taken away by her nurse and a captain of the guard, or guard, let's say a guard because I don't remember if he's captain of a guard. And they basically have her in this tower, and they raise her throughout her entire life, and she is secluded in this tower, so all she knows is what she sees or what she hears. And then all of a sudden this mysterious man just stumbles upon their tower, because their tower is one that's supposed to never be seen. And you do have a lot of different things that are being brought out, and a lot of things that have developed throughout these years in our earth. Maybe some people would read this and be like, there's some things that I don't think I can deal with. But first of all, this is fantasy, so I'm not gonna start pondering, can these things actually exist? Can life survive without sunlight for only 1 hour of the day, because that's the only time you actually get sunlight? For that I have to speak to a scientist or something like that, because I do know that obviously a lot of things are going to die. But nonetheless, you do have a world building, but you don't have an in-depth world building where they tell you everything that happened in the past. You get bits and pieces of information, but it isn't like explained thoroughly. But you know, it is gonna be a second installment, so I think this is a duology. I can't wait for the second book to come out. That's one thing that I'm going to say before I continue saying anything else, because I really enjoyed the way the story was told. Can I say, was it fast-paced? In the beginning it was a little bit slow, and I had trouble like continuing reading it, but I humbly suggest that you stick on with it, because it is a very good book. The story is told, like I said, from 2 different points of view. You have Luna and you have Fowler, and both of these people do hold mysterious secrets to them. So I'm not going to tell you what they are, because then I'm going to ruin everything for you. You're not going to get the experience of actually reading this book and enjoying it. But both have some secrets that are scrumptious. That's all I'm gonna say. And Luna's the kind of person that she's very different and distinctive. But since this is a fantasy, if you did see Avatar: The Last Airbender, a lot of the times I was reading this and I was like, what? This woman is more skilled than I am. But having, you know, watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, a lot of the things are understandable. You know, these things can actually happen, because again, this is fantasy, nothing like it's happening in real life. But then again, if you compare it to that, to Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm not going to tell you which character specifically. That's why I thought that a lot of the things, okay, are plausible for them to happen. So I'm not going to start judging them or criticizing them, because okay, I'll go with it, I'll go with the flow. Do you have insta love? Yes, you do have insta love, but honestly I enjoyed the insta love. Again, we have a girl who's never seen another guy except from the man who takes care of her and the woman that takes care of her. That's it. Those are all the people she's ever seen. So of course she's gonna fall in love with the first guy that she sees. But over, you know, the time that they get to know each other a little bit more, she does feel that he really does care for her, and she really does care for him. That's why I want to know more about this book, and I want to know more about these characters. And honestly, I had no problem with the insta love, because it was lovely. It was very lovely, it was very beautiful, and I highly enjoyed it. I have to admit that there were points in time when I had to like jump ahead, but it wasn't that I didn't want to read those parts. It was just that I wanted to jump ahead to know if he was alright or if she was alright, because there were some points I was like, damn man, they just got out. Give them a break. It was, you know, after the story does pick up pace, it continues one thing after another. You're like, damn, are they even gonna have a break to breathe? Let them breathe. Give them a breather. Let them sit for like 30 minutes and just enjoy one another's company. Like I said, the world building in this book isn't all that great, but you do get a lot of parts of, you know, imagery that's being bombarded, and the way you see things, the way you smell things is something that I really did enjoy from this book, and the way it's told, because it is something different that I haven't read in a while, and I highly did enjoy it. Is there insta love? Yes, there is. Like I said, can you tell the difference between the two points of views? Yes, you can. It isn't like you're just reading something that's linear or, you know, blank, everything is a flat line. No, you can tell who's Luna, you can tell who's follower. Even though you do have the names on top, you can tell who's who or who's speaking when one of them is speaking. I do have to say that the writing is one I can say I enjoyed it and didn't enjoy it, because there were some times when she used so many big words that I was like, okay, let me look for the synonym, and then I was like, okay, still, what the hell is she trying to say? And there were moments like that. The ending was such a cliffhanger that it was just like, what? You don't end the book this way. Like, is there something that's gonna happen here? Because only 3 pages left, and you know, I'm starting to get a little bit worried here. But overall, this book was enjoyable. It's something, you know, just to sit and relax and read it, and I can't wait for the second installment of this book. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. And do I recommend people to read it? Of course I recommend people to read it. If you love insta love and like different, you know, aspects of stories being told to you, and it is fantasy, so again, don't ponder too much on certain things, just go with the flow. You know, like I say, I'm gonna go with the flow because I really did enjoy the book. To me, it had like a Rapunzel kind of vibe to it, because again, she has long hair, she's stuck in a tower, her parents are killed. There are a lot of notions that do give you this Rapunzel kind of retelling, but in such a different and creative and distinctive way. So you do have those bits and pieces. This is an enjoyable book, and I highly suggest that you read it. So that's it for my book review. I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.